Sure, sir, that it will be a fun session.
See, you don't need to butter me, huh? Okay.
So, hello everyone. Hope you all are good and fine. I'm Dev Bharti, your host for today's talk on the topic the beauty of fluid mechanics. The pandemic is at its peak high, which is upsetting everyone and hindering our progress. So, to keep your guts up, we have brought you all third episode of A Talk Season 3. On behalf of the STAR team, I would like to welcome Mr. Balwinder Singh. He is currently pursuing his PhD from IIC Bangalore. He is an alumnus of IIT Bombay and a pass out of batch 2017 Mechanical from our dear college.
Hi. Thank you for such a warming welcome. Hi guys. My name is Balwinder, and as Dev said, I graduated from UIT in 2017 from mechanical engineering department. Then I prepared for GATE in my final year itself and went for my master's in IIT Bombay. I did my master's in thermal and fluids engineering from IIT Bombay itself, and then I graduated in 2020 from IIT Bombay. Currently, I'm pursuing my PhD from Indian Institute of Sciences, Bangalore, in aerospace department in the area of aerodynamics. See, it's subjective. Okay. So what do I do is I usually pick up a book. I start reading from a book, and I try to resolve the queries which are there in my head. Uh, Once I'm satisfied with the theoretical part, I mean, it's a habit that I usually go for some practical implementation of that. I do that. I frequently call up my friend and try to discuss things with him. But yes, as you guys will be, I mean, I don't know your interests and I don't know where do you want to go. If you are looking to improve your resume from the companies or industries point of view, then yes, they are primarily interested in looking at your projects and what technical things you have done, rather than the theoretical knowledge and your academic grades. But if you are going for an higher education, even then also your projects would be required, but you should be having a thorough understanding of the theory as well. So it's a you know I mean, it's a like in sync relation with the theory and practicals. I think you should be doing both. You should be learning theory with purest of your heart, and you should be implementing that theory to the complicated practical problem which you can think of. Yeah, that's my way of, I mean, that's at least how
Yes, sir.
I try to answer it. I mean, whenever you get yourself enrolled for a PhD, the first year is usually spent in learning fundamentals, in learning subjects. Uh, then for the coming 6 months, I mean, like after completing your first year, for the next 6 months, you do literature review and you formulate your problem. Okay. So what do you do is by doing the fundamental subjects like fluid mechanics, thermodynamics, mathematics, heat transfer, you get to know that this is the subject in which I am interested. Okay. And then you start reading journal papers of those very subjects. And when you start reading journal papers, you actually get to know about the literature gaps. Okay. So you get to know that this is the work which has been done by the scientists. However, this can also be done. Okay, this could also have been done, or this can also be done in order to improve the efficiency of the algorithm or to improve the product itself. And then once you have once you have properly determined and once you have properly understood the literature gaps, you then start formulating your problem statement. And that very problem statement is verified by the IISc panel or the in any institute panel in which you're doing your PhD. And then the remaining 3.5 years of your PhD are spent on solving that problem which you formulated in these 6 months. So yes, PhD people are involved in solving projects. They can actually associate themselves with industries and solve their problems. Uh, they can better the labs. I mean, the code of the labs in which they are working, and they can formulate their own problem statement and work on that. No one's going to stop you from doing that. Okay. Even in your masters, you do that. You get 1 year in your masters to do some research related project. However, is the PhD is a little it's a little bigger commitment. It's for 5 years. So naturally, you are. I mean, the expectations from you increase also when you spend this much amount of time in any institute. Uh, it's a tough question, man. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do next with tomorrow. You're going to ask me what I'm going to do after 3.5 or 4 years. So there are two plans as of now which I can share. So currently my CPI in ISC Bangalore is 8.3. It's the first semester CPI. Currently I'm taking 2 courses in this semester, in my second semester. So I'm trying to better my CPI to 8.5 so that I get eligible to apply for PMRF fellowship. In order to be eligible to get 70,000 stipend, 70,000 rupees per month stipend. So the first target is that. If I'm able to get that, I'll be really happy. And the second target, which is very nearby, is to go for an internship at Purdue University. So Purdue has a tie-up with the IISc Bangalore, and I am in constantly touch with the faculty from Purdue, who is doing work in turbulent boundary layers and shock interaction. So if that guy says yes, and if my guy says yes, my professor at IISc Bangalore, then yes, I'll be spending the next year at Purdue University. So these are the 2 short-term targets which I have in head as of now. What I will be doing after PhD, where will I be going, whether I'll be doing my own business or whether I'll be going for a postdoc, I don't know. Not yet decided. See, if you have money, go anywhere. Okay. If you can afford the studies, you can go to United States also. Doesn't matter. But for those people who don't have money, who want to survive, who just want to do masters on their own, then IITs are the place to be at. I would suggest do your masters from IITs. Be a little prepared in advance and start applying for PhDs outside, even like in the second year of your masters. And getting the top 20 colleges is really tough. Getting admissions into MIT, Harvard, Princeton, Caltech, Cornell, Yale, it's really tough. Okay. So I won't say that you go to IIT Bombay and then the next target would be MIT. It's not that easy. But yes, I have seen people going to places like UC Berkeley from IIT Bombay. I have seen people going to University of Maryland, University of Illinois, Purdue, University of Texas, Austin, even Technical Universität of Munich in Germany. So people going to abroad for their PhD after doing their masters to these universities which I have mentioned, it's possible. It's quite realizable. It's not something which is of which you cannot dream of. But yes, going to places like MIT, Stanford, Caltech, Cornell, Yale, Harvard, the top 20 universities from IIT Bombay. I mean, there are very few people who go to those places. Who have done their masters in India. Secondly, so this was about money. I said do your masters from IITs because there would be lesser money involved, and do your PhDs from abroad if you can get admissions to the good top 50 universities, because the PhD programs are more or less funded. Now coming to the quality of education, the computational work, the algorithm developments, the computational fluid dynamics work or the finite element methods work. I mean, any computational work which is related to doing work on a laptop or on a supercomputers, the quality of the work being done here and being pursued there are more or less similar. However, when it comes to experimentation, naturally, those countries are the developed countries. Those countries have very high GDP allocated for their R&Ds. So their experimentation work is far more superior and better to the experiments that are being done in even IISc, which is the best institute for PhD in India. Uh, so if you are inclined towards doing a computational work, it doesn't matter whether you go to MIT or IISc. You will be doing more or less the same quality of work. But if you are involved in doing experimentations, if you are interested in doing experimentations, then I would say going to foreign is a much better destination than staying.
So,
I have not been to Bangalore as of now. My admission was in October last year. So
okay.
the institute was closed. I have not yet been able to witness Bangalore with my own eyes. Yeah, I have spent 3 years at Mumbai and like 22 years in Chandigarh. So I would say Mumbai any day is better than Chandigarh. Not because of the IIT campus, but because of the monsoon season over there. I love monsoons. I mean, for the 3 months, I mean, from starting from the mid-June to about the end of August, there is a constant rain which is going on in Mumbai. Even if the rain is not heavy, the drizzling is always going to be there. And the evenings of the Mumbai are romantic. I mean, they're beautiful. And the campus was so beautiful that we had a lake in our own campus. So I used to go there in the evenings and sit besides lake and used to see sun setting. Mumbai has given me more freedom financially as well as you know as well as from my family. I have been able to take my own decisions. I have been able to live the dreams, I mean, to live the life of my dreams at IITB. So yes, Mumbai is any day better uh, than Chandigarh, for me at least. And in terms of institute, I still believe that I am an IIT Bombay product rather than an IISc Bangalore product because as of now, I have contributed to IISc and have gained nothing in return. But yet there are 4 more years to be, I mean, I have to still spend 4 more years in IISc. Let's see what IISc has to offer to me. Will it be able to contribute more than IIT Bombay is still debatable. Still, I have not yet witnessed. So let's wait for 4 more years and then I will be able to decide I'm whose product, whether an IIT Bombay or an ISC Bangalore product. Okay. So if you want to go into aerospace, I mean, right now you are into mechanical, do your mechanical with honesty and sincerity. Uh, I mean, get in love with the subjects. Uh, Thermodynamics, fluid dynamics, solid mechanics, heat transfer, fluid machinery. Then you have design of machine elements. Then you will have finite element methods. Then you will have theory of machines. Get in love with these subjects. Get to know in detail what do they offer, what don't they offer, and then I would say go for a master's in thermal and fluids engineering. That's a specialization in mechanical engineering, and learn the subjects like fluid mechanics and thermodynamics and heat transfer in detail. Okay, and then go for a PhD in aerodynamics because I believe aerodynamics and aerospace engineering is more towards the application side rather than on the fundamental sides. So get your fundamentals correct by learning mechanical and then do your PhD in applications. Then no one is going to stop you. I would say, I mean, I am of the opinion that in the coming few years, in the coming 10 years, I think we should have Elon Musk of our own, like owner of our own, right?
Yes, sir.
India should also have Elon Musk. And it's not that we can't have. We should also have. So people like you only can come forward and take this responsibility. And in fact, there are people like Pavan Kumar Chandana. That guy did his bachelor's from IIT Kharagpur, and then he went to ISRO. He worked there as a scientist, and now he has his own company by the name Skyroot Aviation. So when I were the company coordinator of IIT Bombay, I had an opportunity to call him and talk to him. Just a few months back, he has been able to, I guess, manufacture an engine, an indigenously developed engine, and that company is doing great. That company is doing great in collaboration with ISRO. So you can check out Pavan Kumar Chandana on LinkedIn. You can even contact him. You can even connect with him, and you can even also look at his company Skyroot Aviation. So there have been a few companies which are now getting involved in the space work. So there is this company called STAR. It's called Space Technology and Aeronautical Rocketry, I guess. That company is involved in teaching aerodynamics and aerospace related studies to the students. They guys also build engines, these rockets, but they build rockets for educational purposes, not for sending any satellites or, not for sending these satellites into orbits. They're into the educational, spreading of aerospace. So there have been companies which are doing work in the areas apart from ISRO in India. So I would say learn mechanical first of all, do well in it, and then see what do you like the most in it. Whether you want to go with manufacturing, whether you want to go with thermal, whether you want to go with design, it's up to you. Whatever you like, do masters in that very field in mechanical itself, and then go for a PhD and get yourself involved in the applications of aerospace. I would say it's a tough question. I can tell you one thing. So there will be 6 subjects that you will be learning from every semester from now on, since you'll be going into the third year. The third semester of your mechanical. Keep one thing in head all the time. Always follow good books. So our college has a trend of making you guys follow the books in which the exams come from, right? So they will make you follow books like, for Tom, they will make you follow books by Professor V. I forgot his name. There is a book by Professor D.S. Kumar in Fluid Mechanics. That's the shitty book I have ever seen in my life. Although D.S. Kumar has been a professor in Peck, he has retired from there. But these guys, they don't write their own books. They don't write their own ideas. They simply copy paste the ideas from other books. So stupid in doing that they don't even change, or they don't even make uniform their symbology. Okay. On some page, you will find stress to be represented by tau. On the very next page, you will find stress to be represented by sigma. They're that idiots. So don't follow books which are being, which are being set, which are being used to. So our professors has one good quality as well, which I remember. They'll tell you one bad book from which the exam will be set, and they'll tell you one good book as well. For example, I remember Professor Harbinder, who used to teach us Tom. He used to tell us 2 books. You can follow 2 books in Tom. One is by Professor I forgot his name, Professor V something. That's the normal university book from which they set the exams. And the other is by Professor Shigle. And that Shigley book is universally recognized book. That's a wonderful book. So start following those books and start learning from those books instead of just keeping your just following your academics and doing good in your exams is never going to help. Secondly, I would suggest you to follow one course by Professor Gaitonde on YouTube. Okay, so I'll show you if I have just 1 minute. How can I remove this? Okay, yeah. So will it work? Yeah. Okay. There is this one course by Professor Gaitonde. If you can learn thermodynamics from him, I think you will be in a much more better position to decide what do you want to do in life, because he's my guru and I thoroughly admire him for his understanding and knowledge in thermodynamics. So yeah, this is the guy. He's Professor Gaitonde from IIT Bombay. He's retired from IIT Bombay with me. Okay. So you can follow this course to learn thermodynamics and to learn thermodynamics in specific and how to learn any subject in general. So this guy will make you understand how to learn any subject. What you should first of all eat prerequisites of any subject which you are going to learn. You should be clear about all the definitions. You should be clear. You should not go, for example, if I ask you to define heat, you will probably use temperature to define heat. And then if I ask you to define temperature, you will probably use heat to define temperature. So it's cyclical. You are using heat to define temperature and temperature to define heat. So this guy makes you analyze those mistakes. This guy actually will help you to understand how to learn anything. And if you get to know how to learn anything, then I believe you can find out your interests. Then I believe you can do whatever you feel like you should be doing in life. So I strongly recommend learning thermodynamics from this guy. It's freely available on YouTube. You can do that.
Oh, okay, sir. So that was the last question for today, and it was a wonderful session. So with this, we have come to an end of today's session. We hope it was able to answer all your queries and were fruitful for you. We are working to bring more of these talks to you based on your responses. So please share your responses with us. Thank you, sir, for giving us your time. Whenever the condition gets fine and you land in Chandigarh, we would love to have you on campus. काफी changes भी आ गए हैं सर आपके टाइम के बाद से, and we are sure it would impress you and you will love it.
Yeah, you take care, guys, and yes, yeah, take care, guys, and all the best for your life and all the best for your future endeavors. That is it. I mean, stay honest to yourself, if to not anyone else, but to yourself, and be sincere in whatever you do. Yeah, that is it.
Thank you, sir.
From my side.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful session.